Alright everyone, PermaBear here. So I wanted to go more a bit in depth on FVG. Obviously I can't cover everything because there's so much to it. This video was meant for in the Discord, but it's gonna be a long one, so it's not going to be able to be uploaded there. So I'm just gonna upload it on YouTube. So I wanna go over some misconceptions on FVG and just some basic things that people tend to misconceive and just not act properly on the FVG part. So first and foremost, to read price action, how important is FVG? It's pretty important. I would say it's very important, but there's so much aspect to it that you need to combine because there are so many variables that you need to add up to actually get a proper trigger to get in your trade, because just based on alone on FVG you're not gonna have great results, and it will be more clear soon. So I'm gonna take I found this a good example. So this was the 15k bottom, right, where we basically ranged, and let's just go on a bit of a higher time frame here. Okay, so one distinct thing on a range is always you have your resistance, which is right here, right, this entire block. And why is this resistance? Obviously, there's a good reason for it, because your FVG is here. And the thing about FVG is basically an imbalance where there hasn't been any trading there. So price will always come most of the time, unless the momentum is really strong. It may happen way later, but price will come and fill this up. FVGs work on basically any time frame. So if you go on a lower time frame, you will see the FVGs also all the way up here. It just went straight down. Obviously here too, and then here, and all this right here. So you know eventually we're gonna get back here. So that's also one of the main reasons why you always tend to short right before going there, especially if on the way up you leave FVGs open, because people are obviously going to keep longing here to break this, because what most new FVG traders do, this is a problem that is happening a lot now, is they see an FVG somewhere and they think, okay, so because that needs to fill, I'm just going to long towards that. Well, that's not going to work, because you would probably long here to go there. You obviously need to check the price action, what's happening, and also if we left FVGs behind imbalances while going up, because if you really want to break out, the price doesn't tend to leave an FVG behind before the breakout. That's usually a trap sign that we come back down and then usually sweep. And the reason for that is obviously to take liquidity. You don't want to go up and right before taking that high get going sideways while there's an FVG behind. So that's exactly what happened here, right? We go to our resistance, we leave all this open. So you want to come back here, all of these things. Potentially even here you might want to say, okay, it's tapped very lightly. So I was actually waiting for this here, but that didn't happen. Obviously when you go, you want to watch your price action at the moment and not just guess where it's going to be and have the limit order. So let's just go on it here step by step. So you have your liquidity grab here, and then we lose the low here. So now you have your market structure break. We lose this is bearish. So we're going to keep going down and down. If we actually do a replay here, you will see on the way down how many people get trapped with this price action. For example, exact same thing happened here, right? So you have your market structure break, FVG here, so people are going to long towards that. Obviously you go up high. Again, the range resistance right before that FVG is gonna get for that trap. Exact same thing that's happening here, and the example I laid down before. So the same thing happened here. We go down. What do we need to fill? Obviously, this is huge. So let's play it forward. Obviously, I kind of remember how this went. Not exactly. It's been a while, but so you want to fill these and here. So let's lay down a line here. I'm not sure if we can speed it up a bit. So again, hit resistance here. So you have your full resistance here, right? You don't want to get over that. So now we tap that. Okay, so now we get back on resistance right here. You don't want to go over this line. Obviously, this is all resistance. And you want to fill this now because that's the FVG left behind. So I'm going to remove this because it's a bit distracting. So you wait for an accumulation phase here. The first line of support tap, but we have still this one here open. You could technically limit order, although I do like to wait to see what the price action does. Let's just go on a 1 hour because this is taking forever to. Okay, so now we filled that. You don't want to lose the low, so this is why I usually wait. An important lesson. So you have your 1, 2, 3. Usually it goes down in 3 momentums, like 3 distinct bottoms. And the thing what people usually mistake with FVGs, okay, they long here, so at the top side of the FVG, and then right here they put their stop loss. Obviously it can go as low as the wick here. As long as it doesn't lose that, there's not really a huge problem. Even if it does, as long as it bounces back, you wait for the price action to give you something. So now we have created the bottom. Now we can go fill these, and obviously all of these above. And I think that's exactly what happened. So and we're gonna take some examples on the way up, just on a lower time frame to see what happens. So let's go, for example, on a 15-minute. Okay, let's play this out. Let's go on a lower time frame to see exactly how we can play with the ranges. So when you're trending so hard as this is an important lesson too, is you don't want to start losing lows. So for example, you hold this one, you don't actually want to lose this because losing it, it might cost a bearish retest. So since we hold it, you can expect to take new highs. I think this was some CPI move. So we held it and then get up to the highs. So you got to remember, it's not all about FVGs. It's also about where you reject and hold. So right before taking the high, you reject, but right before taking the low, you hold. So obviously you can take your position. It's a bit late now, so I would probably take it here somewhere, but the retest here would be good. I would probably put a stop loss like this, and if it stopped out, I would probably try at the low again. You could try a wider stop since the target is obviously new highs, right? So either way, we'll see how it does. So you can do the white. Okay, so there you go. Obviously, you don't want to take everything out because, again, you're expecting from the higher perspective that you're gonna fill at least these, right? So, and since we're trending, we're not gonna lose important levels. So expect to go here. But let's see. Okay, wow, that was really fast. Can't even remember that that was happening. Okay, so that's a huge trade. Now let's see what it does according to FVGs and whatnot. Again, you can scalp these 1 minutes, even 15 seconds, just based on FVG alone. 1, 2, 3 again, tap, going down, left huge FVG open again, right? Similar thing. So now you gotta ask yourself, are we gonna push lower? You hit the resistance that you were expecting. Are we gonna push lower? Are we gonna? Obviously, it's never 100%, right? You want to watch. Obviously, you have your FVG left open above. Came back down, hit that FVG that was only left, and back up to the top side FVG. So this would be your first major target again. Came back down. Took the sweep. So now you gotta ask yourself, where are the FVGs open? Where should price action go? So you gotta remember, now we're in a range again. Obviously, we're trending very hard, so you want to look for continuation. Always look for continuation until you actually get the market structure break that we're bearish. So that will be around these levels. So where's the FVG here? Right here, right? There's nothing happening here. There's an imbalance. So you want to look for a potential short scalp. Obviously, you still want to look for upside. So let's play it out here. I usually don't tend to limit order, just wait for what kind of price action happens. Might want to go with a higher time frame here because it seems to be taking a long time. So let's go with that. But obviously on the lower time frame, you see there's, well, didn't even have time to take it here. But again, took the FVG here, went down, left again FVG right here. So you want to look for longs now. Just rinse and repeat basically. Wait for something critical to happen and go with that. So we're waiting here for some big move. Okay, stop right here. Move to the high without taking the actual high, right? Left FVG while on the way up, so you can expect to come back down. Same thing now. Huge drop, imbalance here. Again, same thing. The most important thing that you always have to remember is where's the absolute top side FVG at the top. So right now we don't have any. What's the bottom side? Right here. This needs to fill. So you always, if you're in a range, you always want to fill as much as possible before continuation. So a limit order could work. I believe, if I remember correctly, I did take a limit order here, and you want to wait for continuation. But I will try to find also multiple entries on the lower time frame just to see what happens here. Let's go a bit on a higher time frame just to make this go faster. So again the 3 tap here, 1 2 3. This doesn't count because we had to move down before taking that 1 2 3. So now you got filled. So left an FVG at the top side here. You can always take some partial profits here and here, obviously, because this is already a 4R. That's more than enough. And let's just now go on a lower time frame to see what happens. So on the lower time frame, you see it left FVG open here. So I wouldn't say this is filled, only partially. It could be enough. If you are on the conservative side, you would probably take it here, stop loss right here, so you could take new entries. And let's see what happens here. Right now it's filled, I would say. As you can see, it went down lower. So personally would wait to get filled here, but it doesn't really matter that much. Again, let's go on a higher time frame to make this easier to follow. You do expect to take the highs out, but you want to take some TPs here and here. Obviously, since you have 2 longs, you can just keep one running and take one with the TP. It should go to the top side here. You can just add on long, since obviously you can see that there's an FVG open here. So now we get that filled, and now we go above. Usually what most people have issues with is capturing these moves on a lower time frame, because people that play on a low time frame don't usually zoom out. So you do want to check the higher time frame now and again. If we delete everything here, you can see on the higher time frame, people that just play higher time frame, they don't even see that there is an FVG here. So that's also why it's important to also switch up from the lower and higher. I think for now I'm gonna let it be at what it is. I might make a series on it of some sort. Depends on how popular this is. I will go through, because there's way more to FVG than this alone. So we'll see how it goes, how the reaction is of people. And then we can keep continuing with the series on FVG. Also add some other stuff. It all depends on what you guys think of it. Anyways, I do appreciate everyone that's been watching this. And yeah. Also, FVGs on total are very overpowered and overlooked. So you definitely want to keep track of that.